to Meet the Biz, Part 2 with Cory Reeder. Thank you for coming back.
It's my pleasure, David.
Well, I'm going to just, hand it off to you and we'll have a wonderful class.
Awesome. Hey, guys. Hey, Meet the Biz. How's it going? I'm Cory Reeder. I'm a writer. I'm a director. And I'm a writer, a director, and a producer of films. And I'm running low on coffee. So that's probably why my speech is a little bit slurry. Okay. So now that's out of the way. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about filmmaking. While we're here, all of us stuck in quarantine, and even when we get out of this and we can go back out into the real world and do real world things like hug and walk and not have to worry about touching each other. Filmmaking is a fantastic art form. It's a great way to tell stories. It's a lot of fun. It requires community. Not absolutely, yes, we can all make movies by ourselves, and I'm actually going to talk a lot about that today. But the big films that we all like to go see in the movie theaters take hundreds and hundreds of people to make. And those people all have to come together with a vision to be able to make those things. And in order to do that, it starts with a script. And this is something that we can all be doing right now from our homes. And it's because of this, I started an online Q&A series called Scene to Screen, Stuck in Quarantine. And it's all about writers writing from scene up onto the big screen while they're stuck in quarantine. What a crafty name, right? And what I wanted to do was create a platform that spoke to people of disability, people of color, anybody who really doesn't know anything about screenwriting but has that itch in the back of their head that's like, I have a story to tell. Where would I even begin? So what we do is we go through, and every week we have an hour-long conversation with real professional screenwriters and television writers currently working in the industry right now. These people are writing stuff right now that's going to be on TV or in the movies in a year or sooner or later. And so I bring them together to try and teach the basics of how to write those sorts of things, how to write these things. And I'm going to share a screen here and show you guys. This is what the website looks like. This is my YouTube page. So you can see right here, YouTube. And if you go to Renaissance Man Productions, you'll be able to see these 4 episodes that are already online. And you start off on the very first episode, and it's all about, hey, that's me. This is like Inception. It's all about ideas. Where do they come from? And then the next one is all about organizing your ideas. And how do you take those ideas and start to put them together in a way that you can then write into your screenplay? The next one, chapter 3, is all about characters, the people that are going to inhabit your story. Whether your story is about your mom, your dad, your sister, your dog, your friend, your aunt, people you don't know that are completely made up. These are all about the characters. And once you have your ideas, your organization, and your characters all thought out, you get to move into the fundamentals of screenwriting. And that's where you get into all this stuff like how to write a screenplay. And there's also some links when you watch these videos. Open up the little tab here. I'll show you. If you open up the little tab underneath the movie, like let's click on this movie, and I will pause that. If you come down here and it says show more, there's all these links that are here that you can click on and get to learn more about the people that are in the videos, or different places that people recommend that you can go to learn more about screenwriting. And within some of those places, there's links to free software that you use to write a screenplay, or free libraries that you can go to and read some of your favorite screenplays. Do you like horror movies? Are you a fan of the movie Alien? Well, there's links in there where you can download the script from Alien and read it. Maybe you like movies that have animals, so you can find the script for Babe. Or you like Pixar movies, you can find the script for Coco. any of these things you can research and you can find, and you can get farther into the process of screenwriting. If now I weigh heavily on the importance of screenwriting, that because the script is the most essential part of any movie. The script is the blueprint. The script is the information that everybody from the director to the producers to the actors to the editors and everybody in between, the script is what they need to follow in order to tell the story and make it a movie. So if you want to know where to begin, if you want to make a movie, you got to start with the script. You can type stuff out on your computer, on your iPhone, on your iPad. You can write stuff down on paper with a pen. Whatever you want to do, you need to have this blueprint. You need to have this screenplay. And if you want to know more about where to begin, I'm telling you, in COVID-19 quarantine, the internet is your best friend. So all you got to do is Google how to write a screenplay, and boom, look it, there's a video right there that just tells you how to write a screenplay. And then you can just scroll for days, and there's different videos that you can watch. There's different articles you can read, all sorts of things. So once you do that, you can get into the little bits of telling a story. Now, I would recommend this. Everybody gets excited at the very beginning of the filmmaking process. Everybody says, I want to make a movie. But then we can kind of lose a little bit of steam or get distracted by the other things that we actually need to make the movie, like writing a script. That doesn't sound like fun because I want to be on set. I want to be holding the camera, or I want to be acting, or whatever. But we got to do all the little bits if you want your movie to be good. Because the last thing that you want is to get the camera, get the actors, get the food that you get to snack on, get the dog, get the car, get your friend's apartment that they're going to let you film in. And then everybody shows up and they say, well, what are we going to do? And you say, then you're in a problem. You don't want to do that. Got to get out of the pickle. Got to have a script. Okay? So it's worth it to do a little bit of research. Worth it to figure out how to just do the basics of screenwriting. And you can watch the videos that I have on Scene to Screen. You can read the little links that I provided there. You can do more Googling of stuff to figure out the basics to telling your story. And I recommend you start small. Can you tell a story in 3 pages? Maybe 4? Try to do that 2 or 3 times. Try to write 3 or 4 short stories, just anywhere between 3 and let's say 5 or 6 pages. And then share those with people close to you. Share them with people in your family or your best friend and see what they say. Is there little things that could be made better? Maybe this part's not clear. Add those things. Use the feedback that your friends and your family give you to make your script a little bit better. And then maybe after you've done it 10 times, look at all 10 of the scripts that you've done and say, which one's my favorite? Pick your favorite and then use that one to be the first movie that you go out and make. Now, there's certain things that I would recommend on your first movie. Don't make a movie that has 20 characters in it, because that means you need 20 actors. Try to keep things simple. We're all just learning how to do this stuff. So maybe start off with 3 or 4 characters. Try to keep them in 1, maybe 2 locations. You don't want to be moving around, because when you have the cameras and all the people and you got to get the cars and you got to go from here to there, it gets really easy to lose time and lose momentum. It's so much easier if you could come up with a story that's all in your house or all in the kitchen or in the kitchen in the backyard. And so once you get into the production of those things, there's other things you want to know about, other things that you may not need to be the best at, but it's good just to know a little bit about it. And the first thing I want to talk about with that is camera work. You want to know, because the camera is the eye through which the rest of your audience is going to see your movie. So you want to know how that camera is going to be perceiving what you're putting in front of it. Does the moment that you're trying to tell become really intense and require a slow push in just to make a point? Follow me? Or is it something shocking that the camera needs to run away? As I destroy my office. Whatever it is, maybe it's a comedic thing and the camera just needs to dolly by. Whatever these things are, I'm all done with the sight gags, y'all. Whatever it is, it's good to know how to use these things because this language of the camera can improve your movie. It's so much better than just having like, "Hi, Cory, how are you today?" "Hi, Cory, I am fine." Have a little bit of movement, have a little bit of a flair of art. Camera work is an art. So try to put a little bit of that into your movie. And that's another thing that all you have to do is Google. This is a great website called Video Maker. And Video Maker has articles on all sorts of things. And here's one just on camera angles. This is an amazingly beautiful low angle shot filming up as the sky filters through rice. And as you read through this article, you can read about what different angles mean to the audience when filmed through the eye of the camera, whether it's coming from a vertical position or a horizontal position. And then it breaks down what all of these things mean. Establishing shots are often wide shots. And where you place the actors in the frame, if you're going to put them in the middle or off to a side, can mean different things. Now, if you want to produce or direct your movie, not just write it, these are all things that you're going to want to know because these are the responsibilities that fall upon the director. They need to have conversations with the cameraman or cinematographer, and they need to be able to suss these things out before they even get to the set, to the location. Because what you do when you get to the set is you get right to work. No messing around, no goofing off. Even if it's the funniest comedy you've ever read, written, or want to see, you got to get to work to be funny. So once you learn about camera angles, oh, you know what? I want to share one more website with you guys. Check this out. This is another great resource. This is called No Film School right here. If you go to No Film School's website, they have articles on everything. It's called No Film School because they teach you how to make movies without a film school. Again, brilliant name. Everything you need to know right there in the title. So they have this article, 50 plus camera angles, shots, and movements that break down different sorts of tools that are used. The way that these tools are used to create shots, whether you want to use a handheld shot or a Steadicam shot, all these sorts of things. Now, I want to drive a point home. You don't need fancy gear to make your home movie. All you need is your phone. If you have a phone, you can make a movie with it. Sure, it's not going to have some awesome lens that was used on Star Wars. Sure, your movie's not going to have, the cool helicopter shot, but it's your first movies. You're learning how to do stuff. So start off with what you have. I don't want you guys to have to go out and spend a penny on anything that is not a must-have for your movie. If your must-have is an entire box of Snicker bars, that's a good investment. But if your must-have is a helicopter with a camera attached to it, maybe rethink that one. So you've written a great script. You've figured out how you want the camera to work. The next thing, and I cannot stress this enough, that you need to pay attention to on set, or someone does. If not you, somebody, you need a special person to do this job. And it's the sound man or sound person. That's the person that goes on set and records all the stuff that everybody is going to hear in the movie. Here's a picture of a guy. This is from a website called Premium Beats. And you can see how in the picture this guy is holding a microphone over what's happening on set. Having a good sound recording of what your actors say is so important to a movie, unless your actors don't say anything. If it's a silent movie, you don't need to worry about a sound person. But if anybody says anything, hi, how you doing? Hey, you son of a, I love the flowers. Whatever it is, if you want sound effects, I almost choked. If you want sound effects, if you want noise of the world around you, you need a sound person. So you can go to these same websites. All I did here on this Premium Beats website is I looked up online how to get good sound for a short movie. And this is what it came up with. This was one of the first sites. Now, sure, you can go in and use expensive little recorders like this and get the special fancy microphones that they have. Or I want you guys to look at this picture right here. David, can you see that? The coffee cups with the iPhone on the table?
I can.
Okay, so here's one of the dirty little secrets of independent movie making that you can do, is you can hide another iPhone or another phone on the set next to your actors that is only recording the sound. So if I take my phone and I place it right here, let's see, where can you guys see it? Can you see that? And I place it right here, okay? And let's say there's a scene that I'm talking to David. This is right here picking up, but the camera, see that movie projector back there? Let's say the camera is over there. And if I'm talking to David like this, and there's no microphone around, it might sound very muddy and muffled. It might be really hard to understand because the camera's back there. But if the microphone is right here, nearby where the conversation is happening, sure, we're recording the picture over there, but we've got the audio right here.
Oh, that's great.
And when you get into the editing software, which is what we're going to talk about next, you can put those two things together, and no one will ever know that the camera was back there, but the microphone was right here. Let's say that your actor is walking around, and you're like, well, I need to be able to, follow them with the camera, but there's all sorts of noise and birds and stuff like that. Take your phone, plug in your headphones that already have a microphone attached to it, and then tuck this up, I don't know, through your shirt in some sort of way, okay? So no one can see it, because you don't want the camera to see where it is. And then you can use like a little piece of tape or something to hide the microphone somewhere where the camera won't see it. Let's say the camera's always going to be on this side. So you put the microphone over here where no one's going to see it, and then pretend like you can't see that. Here, I'll just tilt up. There you go, fixed it. And hit record on your phone that has this going, and it's the same thing, only you're moving, and you're getting really good audio because it's right next to the actor. And then later on in post-production, you take the audio from your phone and the video from another phone that you might have shooting the video, and you put it all together. So the reason why you want to have good sound in your movie is that people watch with their ears. If you've ever seen a scary movie with no sound, it's not very scary. It's because what's scary is the that's what's scary. It creeps up on you. It's the noises of people, and they don't know, and oh my God, it's frantic, it's crazy. Or what makes people swoon is being able to hear the young girl say to the young strapping man, "Oh, I love you, Billy." And you want that audio clear. You don't want it to be like, because then your audience doesn't understand what's happening. We need to hear your voice by you telling your story. And if we can't hear what you have to say through the words in your script, through what the actors are saying on screen, then we're missing part of the magic that you're trying to create. So please have good sound. One last thing one last thing about premium beats is this. There's a lot of websites that are out there, like Premium Beats, that you can go to that have stock sound. So you can go here and look up music, for example. I'll click here and look at this. This is just a lot of music. Now, this isn't music that you're going to necessarily know. This isn't going to be music. It's not going to be Billie Eilish. It's not going to be the Foo Fighters. It's not going to be the Rolling Stones. It's not going to be The Weeknd. But you can find music that sounds like that. And you can buy it to put in your movie for a fraction of the cost. What do I mean by that? Well, here's some real world numbers for you. If you want to put a Billie Eilish song in a movie, it's probably going to cost you, I don't know, maybe $250,000. Oh, maybe not so much. It could be less, but the point is, it's a lot of money. You can buy one of these songs on a website like this. It's called royalty-free music. You can buy that sometimes for $5 a song and put it in your movie. And once you pay the $5, you're done. That's it. So you might have to search through a lot of music to find that one song that you want, the one that swoons with romance or drives hard with like heavy metal rock, whatever it is. But it's worth it to take the time to look through that. They also have cinema scores that you can go through. So if you need some driving action music, or you want some comedy, quirky music to be able to put underneath your comedy you're going to make, all of that stuff they have. And that's amazing. So next, I want to talk about how you bring this whole thing together. And that's going to be editing. Okay. And when you edit, so before I jump over there, editing is basically marrying the video that you made with the sound that you've captured and being able to splice these things together in a way that makes your movie happen. Shows like it's the ultimate expression of your vision. This is why you wrote the script. And we all know what movies look like in the end, but this is how the sausage is made. I'm talking about how all the pieces are put together. So many of you might have an iPhone, or you might have a Apple phone or Apple computer at home. I think all of these come with some version of iMovie. And iMovie is editing software that's free because you already have it. If you search online, guess what? There's websites that have free editing software. All you need to look for is free editing software. And it will pop up with a bunch of different types of software that you can go to that will show you, oh, there's an article on do's and don'ts for sound recording. There's all sorts of these different websites that you can walk through that not only talk about editing and how to edit, but here's no film school again. 7 simple editing tips that will help you edit like a pro. So this will walk you through different types of editing, things that you can use when you're cutting your movie together to show what you want everything to be about. So go to some place like this and look for some of the different types of editing software that are out there for you to be able to cut your movie together. Sure, there's here's one called Blender, Lightworks, Shortcut. All of these could be available for you. Now, I'm going to be honest. Some of these might be a lot for you to learn. Some of them are really complicated. Maybe find one that's simpler. That's why I started off with iMovie. iMovie is pretty quick and easy to learn, and you can cut your movies together. Remember, we're just talking about your first movie. The more movies you make, what will happen is you'll begin to master slowly the process of movie making. And when you do that, you can improve the tools that you use to make your movies. So soon, maybe after 4 or 5 movies, iMovie will be too simple for you, and you'll have to find something better to edit with. Shooting on an iPhone won't be happy for you anymore, so you got to find a better camera. All of these things come together, and over time, your movies will get better. The thing here is that you have to practice, and you do it again and again. Any movie you like. Think of a movie right now, your very favorite movie in the world that you got to see in a movie theater before all of this quarantine stuff happened. The person that made that movie, the writer, the director, the editors, the cinematographers, they've probably made 25, 50, 100 movies already. That's how they got so good that they got to have their movie be in an AMC movie theater, to be at the ArcLight, to be at the Pacific. That's how they got to be there, because they practiced and they did it again and again and again. So you've made your movie. Let's jump through time there. And now you want to show it to people. And the first thing that everybody likes to do is they say, like, well, I want to put my movie in a film festival. I'll make this brief. Film festivals are a fantastic place to showcase your movie. I recommend everybody submit their movies to film festivals. About 10% of the film festivals you enter, you might get into. So if you enter 10 film festivals, you'll get into one, maybe. There's movies I've made where I've entered 100 film festivals, gotten in maybe 5. Not because my movie was bad. It was just not what they were looking for, or not the right genre, or their brother submitted a movie that year and they've got to show his instead of mine because, well, it's his brother. Whatever the reason is, we'll never know as filmmakers. So I say this with caution. Don't go crazy submitting to film festivals, because you will go broke. Here I have some quick, simple rules on what film festivals to submit to and how to think about submitting into film festivals. And I get asked these questions a lot. So what I did is I wrote a blog about it. And if you go to my website, which is coryreeder.com, you can click on news and blog right here, or scroll down. Oh, there's some of the music videos and other videos David and I were talking about in our last episode. So if you come down here, you can see this series of conversations on festivals. It's called On Festivals. And it's a 3-part read. So you would read all 3 of them. Part 1 breaks down basically what I just told you. Don't waste your money on a bunch of film festivals. The second part talks about, if you're going to invest your money into trying to get into a film festival, pick one that's local, because then you get to go to it if you get in. And part 3 is a list of the film festivals that I recommend you put your money into. And you have to make this ultimate decision. You don't have to put your movie into all of these. I've tried to separate these into different genres or different types of festivals. Ones that are special for shorts. These are the big ones that everybody knows, the famous ones, the Cannes Film Festival, the Sundance, Berlin, and the Toronto Film Festival. These are other amazing film festivals, not quite as big as the 4, and they continue to go down here. Now, one of the things that will probably be of particular interest to the Meet the Biz audience, David, is that I have a section here that is disability specific. Every one of these festivals that has a star next to it is a festival that I entered and one of my films got into. Or I know people that have entered and they said it was an amazing experience. So you can find all of this information on my website, coryreeder.com.
It's truly amazing about the film festivals, especially. Now, here's a question. As the years go on, the festivals will change, right, on the list. So it might change. So at this moment, that's the list.
Yeah, so that's the list. And I try to update it. Every year I kind of scroll through everything and make sure all the links work. I want this to be a document that's of service to people that are interested in submitting to film festivals. Anybody that wants to submit to any film festival. I've probably over the years spent maybe $10,000 over the years, right, just in festival submissions.
And
it's kind of a waste of money.
Do you see that? Let me get on there too. Do you see that a lot of the festivals now are, you have the disability film festivals, but do you see that things are opening up to bigger festivals and other festivals are starting to take in those kind of films?
There's definitely festivals like the Heartland Festival that takes place back east. I think Gina Davis is behind that and has a significant component to that. She is very much interested in inclusion and that being a driving force in her brand and bringing that to the Heartland Film Festival. So yes, there are larger, well-known film festivals that are specifically starting to look for content that's more inclusive. But by and large, rule of thumb for all of these festivals, minus the ones that are genre specific, they want good content. So they don't care if you have a disability. They don't care if you're a person of color. If you have a good movie, they want it. Now, the reason why I break things down is sometimes the general population audience may not necessarily be excited or understand why is there this movie about a young girl with Down syndrome amongst all these other sci-fi or weird slapstick comedies. Because the whole problem is there's not enough exposure to people with disabilities in media. So that's why sometimes it's better to spend your money promoting things to festivals that already have an agenda, that already say, look, we are going to create something for you that is disability specific. Because then if you get into that festival, and if that festival is in your neighborhood, you have the opportunity to see your movie on the big screen. And that's what we all want. We all want to have our movie on the screen, to have an audience in the seats that we can engage with, that we can share with, and the laughters or the jump scares or the tears of sorrow or the swoon of romance. I keep on saying swoon of romance today. Whatever it is, you know, that's what we want. If you find that your pocketbook is a little bit thicker at a particular time and you want to try and send your movie into Sundance, if you want to try and get it in to the Berlin Film Festival, go for it. You know,
well, what I like too is the films about, if your film has a human heart to it, a humanity to it, it's going to be far-reaching as well.
True. Yeah. And there are, I mean, the great thing is there are groupings of festivals for whatever you're looking for. Whether you're looking for festivals that are disability specific, like I showed you, if you're just making horror movies, or comedy film festivals, or film festivals written and directed by women, you can find a whole market. In the last episode, David, we were talking about how I work with Diana Elizabeth Jordan. She directed her first movie, and movies that I normally make, I cannot submit into film festivals that are directed by women. Right. But Diana, not only could she go submit to regular film festivals and to disability film festivals because she had a fantastic cast with disabilities in ICANN, but she could also submit to women director film festivals and women of color film festivals. So you can break this down however you identify who you are. And anything that you have that's just a little bit of a notch, if you can get into a niche, you have a better opportunity of being selected. And it's really sweet when you can get selected into a film festival, because then you get to make artwork, and the artwork gets the little laurels on it.
And the connections that you make.
Yeah. Well, and that's a key, just to touch on that really quick, David, is that the connections are made when you're there. It'd be so cool. I want to get in the Cannes Film Festival so bad. But the truth is, I can't afford to go to France. If my movie got into the festival, I wouldn't be able to go. So why pay $100 to submit to that festival?
Couple questions I had that I wrote down and was thinking of. The first one was, I saw on your show, your writer Screen to Screen, Stuck in Quarantine, I love saying it. I noticed that one of them has 575 views, and it was only released a week ago. How did you get 575 views in 1 week? Always
be selling. Market. I posted to YouTube several times, or posted to Facebook. I posted to Instagram. I posted to Twitter. And on Twitter, I'm going through and I'm messaging other screenwriters. I'm messaging screenwriting festivals and competitions, labs, Sundance, Film Independent, all of these sort of places, just to say like, hey, here's this thing that I'm doing. It's free. Give it a watch. Right. Share it with your people. And people see it, and then they retweet it, and they share it, and numbers grow.
The last question that I have of you today is the word. This came to my mind: trusting in self and self-worth. What are your thoughts on those things?
If you have a vision, see your vision through. Filmmaking is a collaborative effort. When you ask people to help you with your vision, they're going to come with some of their own ideas too. And their ideas can make your vision better. It's better to build stone upon stone if you want to reach great heights than to sit there and fight and say, my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. That being said, if you have a good reason why something should be your way, then most people will say like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. That's a good reason. Or, you know what? That makes total sense. Or if you want to just play the card like director's prerogative or actor's choice, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But collaboration is going to make everything better because everybody wants to do their best. And if you start taking things away from people, people aren't going to have fun. And this is supposed to be fun. So, you know, believe in yourself. Know what you want and why you want it. And then go out there and excite people to be a part of it. Ask them for your help. This is so much more fun if we do things together than if we do it by ourselves. So be daring. Go out there. Don't be afraid to do things on your own. And I'll close with one little thing, David. The whole reason that I started Scene to Scream is that I go to events. I've been to a couple Meet the Biz, and I've been to some other things at Performing Arts Studio West, and I see other people with disabilities out and about at different filmmaking things. And people every now and again will come up and say like, hey, Cory, will you write my movie? And the fact is this: I cannot write your story better than you can. I might have more experience in screenwriting. I might know a little bit more about the hero's journey structure of a script, or how to format a script, or how to create good characters. Sure, I know a little bit more about that. But I don't know what it's like for you to be deaf or blind or have cerebral palsy or to be an amputee or to be a person of color or to be a marginalized woman. I don't know those things. I want to hear you tell that story. I want to hear what you have to say on the page, and then maybe I can help you get it to the screen. And if I can't, maybe I can point you in the direction that somebody can. But it's up to you. You have to do the work to bring it to us. And when you do that, it can be amazing. And that's the stuff that I want to see.